Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster, and I had a couple of requests regarding our borrowed spoon idea that I did a video about a couple of weeks back. And it was just a few people asking me whether I was going to get round to finishing it off and kind of showing it on camera. So I figured that's what I would do. Now I have had a little play around with this since the last video. I wasn't planning on doing a video on finishing it off, but seeing as a couple of people asked, I thought I would do. The biggest change really is just up here on the top of the handle. I had a little bit of a split developed down here, so I had to carve away a little bit of that just to get rid of the split. So I kind of evened that up on both sides. The bowl is kind of pretty much still as it was, the rest of the handle, etc. And really there's very little left to do on this now. It's now dried out relatively well. There's still a tiny bit of moisture in there, but there's not enough moisture that's going to stop me from sort of doing the final sanding and things like that. So really it's going to be a little bit of knife work, and for that I'm using my little Mora carving knife. When I get down to the sort of the final stages of a spoon, I quite like using a small blade, so that's what I'll be using for this, and then just a little bit of sandpaper. And because it's not really a tutorial anymore, all I'm really going to be doing is just refining down what I've done previously. I think what I'll do is I'm going to try and put together just a little bit of a montage, just so I can kind of show you each little bit, a little bit of carving here, a little bit of sanding there, that kind of thing. So hopefully that's something you guys are going to want to see, and obviously let me know in the comments below whether it's you know, either something that you like or even if you don't like it, so I know not to bother doing it again. But what I'll do, I'll move the camera around a little bit, and I'll just do a few shots over the next probably hour or so, just while I finish sort of finalising this spoon. Right then guys, so here we have our carved and sanded spoon. Now I've played around with the design a little bit. The wood wanted to go a certain way on one piece of this, so I kind of evened up either side. It's been fully sanded down to a 320 grit. We've still got that nice little curve that we put in there. As you can see that on the camera. And last thing to do really is to give it a bit of a finish. Now I'm probably going to have this as more of a sort of decorative piece than I am for an actual eating spoon. So I'm just going to give it a quick coating of beeswax and oil. Now you've seen me make this in my other videos. I've just warmed it up just so that it's gone back into its liquid form. And all I need to do is just kind of get a good coating all the way over this spoon. Now I'm using almond oil with the beeswax here, which is a very nice light oil. Doesn't darken the look of the wood too much, which is kind of what I prefer. But again, you can use any kind of oil for this. Walnut oil is normally very, very good for it if you want a slightly darker finish. And all I need to do is, once I've got a good coating on this, just leave it for probably 5 to 10 minutes just to set. And to let some of that hot wax and oil sort of soak in to the wood, and then I just need to take off the excess and then buff it over with another clean cloth. So I'll finish off doing this and we'll come back and I'll show you the final product. So here we go guys, the finished piece, all nicely oiled and waxed. And I really like this. You know, as I said in the first video, this was kind of an idea that I borrowed from Lee Stoffer, and it just gives you that nice little sort of curve to the spoon that you don't always get if you're using a completely flat piece of wood. Nice little taper up at the end. I mean, it's nothing special, it's a very plain and simple design, but you know, the fact that it's a piece of birch, so the grain comes out quite nicely when you oil it, and all in all, I'm really pleased with this. You know, you can make these as simple or as complicated and detailed as you like, but hopefully this is, you know, what you guys wanted to see, that were asking whether I was going to finish it or not, and hopefully it just gives you a few ideas for if you're making something like this yourself. Just shows you, you know, what you can do with a few simple tools and a little bit of time on your hands. But anyway guys, so as always, hope it was useful. Comments and questions in the box below. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope you'll all join me next time. Thanks guys.